Hey, I'm Isaac Schanno Johnson. If you don't know me, I'm a musician, composer, producer, and I make videos about all that fun stuff. Music composition, music production. So make sure you hit that subscribe button to see videos like this in the future. We're talking about practicing today and some tips I got about practicing, how you can make it more effective and how you can better spend your practice time. And whenever you practice, make it more useful so that you get more out of how you practice. So this whole video is going to be about practicing slowly. And when I mean slowly, I mean so slow that you get bored practicing. So slow that every single tiny detail is perfect. That's what we're going to talk about in this video. Let's get into it. So I like to think, and I tell my students this, that practice makes permanent, not practice makes perfect. If you practice poorly, you will perform poorly. You want to practice the way that you want to perform. When you're practicing, when you're trying to get better, when you're really, really focusing on improving your instrument skills, you want to think, how do I want it to sound in the performance? Not, I'm just going to play it a whole bunch and hope that that helps. You don't just want to just brute force play a whole bunch of stuff, even if it's sloppy. That's not going to help your playing much. If you think, how can I play this exactly how I want it to sound when I perform? What do I need to change in order to be able to do that now? That's what you want to think about when you're practicing. Because if you practice poorly, you're going to play poorly. No matter how much you practice, if you play something the same way with the same mistakes, you can play it 300 times. And after that, you're still going to be playing it with those mistakes. And if you don't want to play it with those mistakes, you have to remove those mistakes first in order to play it well. Whatever that means, most of the time it just means practicing it slowly, but whatever that means, removing those mistakes, that's how you want to practice it. So let's talk about how slow I mean. I mean, if you're playing something that's at 120 BPM and it's 16th notes, I mean, play it at like, not even 60 BPM, half speed, play it at like 30 BPM. Play it at 1/4 speed, 1/4 of the speed first. Get every tiny little detail perfect, especially if it's something fast. This helps a lot. And play it over and over and over and over again when it's slow. So you're playing it so slowly that every single tiny little detail is perfect. And every piece of your technique is good. You're relaxed. Your whole body is in a good playing position. That most of the time just means, your back is fairly flat. You're sitting up straight. Your feet are planted on the ground. All of those things you want to be put together and there and present when you're playing it, because then you get used to playing it that way. You play it, 100 times super slowly. You go to play it quickly, it'll be there. When you practice this way, you'll often notice an improvement faster than if you try to incrementally increase the speed, which is something that I was taught as a shred metal guitar player when I was at Berkeley, was you want to incrementally increase the speed. You want to start, if you're playing 16th notes at 120, you want to start at, 80, then add 5 BPM, then add 5 BPM again, 5 BPM again, you're at 95, 5 BPM again, you're at 100, and then maybe 2 BPM, 102. 2 BPM again, 104, and you keep doing that until you're at 120. And that's how I was taught to practice. And that can be useful, sure, but I've found that it's almost better and more efficient and more effective to just practice it slowly. So you just practice it so it's absolutely perfect. And then you test how fast your speed is. You test afterwards, right? So you're playing it at 30 BPM, super perfectly, super slowly, and then you check, okay, let's put a metronome at 120. Let's play it through a couple times. We're not there yet. Okay, let's go back to work. And then we go back to 30 BPM and we're playing it super, super, super slowly. What I have my students do sometimes in the lesson even is I'll put a timer on my phone or on my computer or whatever, and I have them play it super slowly, perfectly for 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes, because you don't have a whole lot of lesson time sometimes. But I have them play it for just 5 minutes, absolutely perfectly. And after that 5 minutes, they're often playing it so much better, noticeably better. It might not be perfect. No, they might still need to do more practice than 5 minutes, right? If it's something difficult, definitely. But after those 5 minutes, there is a noticeable improvement in how well they can play it. And I even notice this with my own playing sometimes, right? If I'm learning a musical or, I'm learning a guitar solo or something and I have this one hard passage, I'll put a timer on for 5 minutes. I'll play that one thing over and over and over, but I play it slowly, quarter speed slowly. So slowly you get bored slowly. And then you play it over and over and over. And then you test after that 5 minutes is up, after the timer dings, you check. Okay, let's see if we can play it along with the song. Let's see if we can do it with whatever thing. And I sort of alternate between those two. Timer, play it along with the song. Timer, play it along with the song. However long that timer is. It might be 5 minutes, might be 10 minutes. But you want to practice it slowly. Focus on that for the 5 minutes, then test afterwards. So Adam Neely has a video about this same exact idea. I don't remember if he mentions using a timer. That's something personally I just do because I think it can be better and a way to get me to focus on doing this exact thing, to really, really hone in on what those specific things are that I'm trying to improve. But check out his video. I'll link it in a card and in the description once I find it. But he mentions in his video that golfers do this and Olympic athletes often do this. People that are trying to get this really high level of technical skill, and they'll play or practice something so slowly that it almost looks like they're moving in slow motion. And the reason they do that is they want every single part of their body to be perfect. They want to be able to think consciously about every single part of your body, because if you're playing guitar, right, and you're playing 16th notes at 120 BPM, no matter how good you are, how much can you think about every single one of those notes when it's 120 BPM and 16th notes? That's really fast, right? But if you take it down to 30 BPM, quarter speed, you can think about every single one of those notes and every single movement in your fingers as you play. That's what you want to get. Play so slowly you can consciously think, am I moving my fingers too much? Or am I moving my fingers efficiently where they're not adding extra movements? You want to be able to think, is there any tension in my body? What about my calves? What about my forearms, my shoulders, my back, my neck? Is there any tension in my face when I'm playing? Is there any tension in my fingers? Is there a specific place that I tense up? Am I fully relaxed when I play this? That's what you want to think, because then everything's going to be just falling into place. Once you can get used to doing this and playing super slowly, practicing so everything is perfect, your technique will improve a ton from doing this, because you'll be thinking, how can I play in a way that I want to perform, right? You're practicing perfectly, then you'll play perfectly when you perform, right? You'll be able to better think and better play, sort of muscle memory style. You'll be able to play faster, but with good technique, because your fingers and your brain is used to doing all of these things super perfectly. So it's not just that you're practicing a lot, it's that you are practicing in a way that is useful and beneficial to your own playing. It's so useful to do this. I really hope you use it after watching this video, because it has helped. This one thing has literally helped my playing a lot more than a lot of different techniques that I've learned. I know that's kind of cliche to say, like, oh, this one technique is going to change everything about your playing. It's not going to change everything about your playing. I'm going to be honest. It's not going to change everything, but it will change a lot with your technique specifically. That one thing about your playing, it'll really help improve it, because you're thinking, how can I play this so well that I start to remember and internalize it being played this perfectly. All right, so that's it for this video. That's my practice tip that I've found to be really useful. I hope you found it useful. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something about music. If you did, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Peace.